Our next concept, gravitation. So what about weightage of this gravitation for NEET? How much is the weightage? Minimum one question, maximum two questions. Minimum one question, maximum two questions. Only 2021, only one question is given. 2021 ఒక క్వశ్చన్ ఇచ్చాడు. 2021 ఇచ్చాడు లేదా? 2020 ఒక క్వశ్చన్ ఇచ్చాడు. ప్రీవియస్ ఇయర్స్ అన్ని కూడా టూ క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉన్నాయి. 2020 ఒక క్వశ్చనే ఉంది. 2020 బిఫోర్ అన్ని మినిమం టూ క్వశ్చన్స్ మెయింటైన్ చేశాడు. సో ఇన్ దిస్ వన్, what is the first priority topic? What is the first priority topic? Now what are the different topics in this lesson? What are the topics in this lesson? So how much is the weightage? One question, minimum one question, maximum two questions. That means minimum 4 marks, maximum 8 marks. Now here different topics in this lesson are: first one, Newton's law of gravitation. We need to discuss about Newton's law of gravitation. After that, acceleration due to gravity. After that, gravitational field or gravitational intensity. Gravitational field or intensity. Next one, gravitational potential. Gravitational potential. Next one, gravitational potential energy. Next one, escape velocity. Next one, orbital velocity and Kepler's laws. So these are the topics we need to discuss. So Newton's law of gravitation, acceleration due to gravity. Next, gravitational field, gravitational potential energy, escape velocity, orbital velocity and Kepler's laws. Now, so among these topics, which one is the first priority topic? So ante ekku sarlu adigina topic area escape velocity, orbital velocity. Ekku sarlu adigindandi escape velocity, orbital velocity. So after that we need to prioritize acceleration due to gravity and Kepler's laws. So next priority, acceleration due to gravity and Kepler's laws. So last priority is for remaining topics. So what is the first priority topic? Escape velocity and orbital velocity. So among those two, again escape velocity is the first priority. So first priority is escape velocity. After that, orbital. After that, Kepler's laws and acceleration due to gravity. After that, energies are Newton's law of gravitation. Now, so first one, what about Newton's law of gravitation? So here, Newton's law of gravitation, no subtopics are there, but acceleration due to gravity. So different subtopics are there. So we need to discuss acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the earth or due to the shape of the earth. Next one, at a height h. Next one, at a depth d. Next one, due to rotation. So here there is a variation of acceleration due to gravity due to shape of the earth, due to rotation, due to height and depth also. So here how many? Total 4 types we need to discuss about acceleration due to gravity. Next one. First one, Newton's law of gravitation. So what is the basic law about Newton's law of gravitation or basic thing? So here two objects are there. One is of mass m1, other one is of mass m2, separated by distance r. What is the separation between these two? R is the separation. What is m1 and m2? m1 m2 are the mass of the two objects. Now here if free space are there between these two, then force, gravitational force given by the equation F equal to F is directly proportional to product of the mass and inversely proportional to square of the distance. Now to remove this proportionality, we need to write F equal to G m1 m2 by r square. What is m1 m2? Mass of the object. What is the separation between them? Here r should be center to center separation. Here r should be center to center separation. That means if two objects are placed in contact, one of radius r1, other one of radius r2. Now what is the separation between these two?
R1 plus R2.
So is it 0? No. So answer is it is not equal to 0. Here separation between these two is r1 plus r2. Why? Because we need to take a center to center separation only. So that we need to take a r1 plus r2 as the separation between these two. Next one. Similarly, so what is capital G? So that is also called a universal gravitational constant. Capital G is called universal gravitational constant. What about value of G? Value of capital G. G value is 6.67 into 10 power minus 11. 6.67 into 10 power minus 11. Now, what about SI units of G? SI units of G. So, rearrange this equation for G. So, G equal to F R square by M1 M2 na. So that Newton meter square by kg square is the SI unit for G. For universal gravitational constant, what is the SI unit? Newton meter square by kg square. This is the SI unit. Is this clear or not? Now, so what about force? Basic properties of G. Then, so and this force is always a central force only. That means that acts along the line joining the two objects. And this force is a vector or scalar. Force always vector only. In any lesson, if it is a force, then that should be a vector. This is a vector. And what about direction of this force? Direction of this force. So always attractive or repulsive? So the gravitational force is always attractive in nature. Gravitational force is always attractive in nature. Always attractive only. That means if you want to calculate force acting on this one due to this one, you need to draw like this. So this arrow mark is the force acting on first object due to second object. Now if you want to calculate force on this one due to this one, that will attract. This will attract this object, so that we need to draw like this. So that is a force acting on the second object due to first one. And these two forces are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. See, rendu ela undayi? Magnitude same untadi, equal ga untadi, but opposite direction. So that we need to write F12 is a negative of the F21. So negative sign, why we are using negative sign? These two are opposite in direction but same in the magnitude. Is this clear? So write down. Just write down one equation directly. F equal to G M1 M2 by R square. Put a side heading as Newton's law of gravitation. Draw this diagram. After that, write down this equation. Write down this equation. Write down this line. Just first line, second line. No need to write remaining matter. Just first line. No need to write this matter directly. Draw this diagram. Write down this one. Write down this one. That is sufficient. Now, can you express this force equation in terms of density? Can you write this force equation in terms of density? Can you close this one? Now, what is the basic equation for force? F equal to G M1 M2 by R square. Now, if a radius is given or volume of the, if it is a sphere, then what is the volume of the sphere? Volume of a sphere is nothing but 4/3 pi r cube. Now, rewrite this mass in terms of density. So, F equal to G into, so density rho 1. What is the volume of density equal to mass by volume? So, mass can be written as density into volume. So, density rho 1 into volume 4/3 pi r1 cube. Next, into rho 2 into 4/3 pi into r2 cube by r square. So if you want to express in terms of density, you need to write like this. Just write a mass in terms of density. Mass can be written as density into volume. If it is a sphere, then volume can be written as 4/3 pi r square, 4/3 pi r cube. So we can express like this. Next. Next, what about basic properties of G? Basic properties of G. Just go through this one. First property. From which experiment we can identify G value? Cavendish experiment. Cavendish experiment. So what is the name of the experiment? Cavendish experiment to identify G value, capital G value. Now what is the value of capital G? That is equal to 6.67 into 10 power minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. Newton meter square by kg square, or Newton meter square into kg power minus 2. And so dimensional formula, So we already derived this one in first lesson, so that I am writing this one directly. That is m power minus 1, L power 3, T power minus 2. Next, is the G value depends on the nature of the medium? Answer is no. It is independent on the nature of the medium. It won't depend on medium. So in the universe, G value is same only. So not only on the earth, in the universe, G value is same and the value is equal to this one only. So we can apply this value if you want to calculate force between stars also. Stars madhyalo force calculate chesina ide value apply chestam. So that we can conclude that G is independent on nature of the medium. Medium nature may depend on. Next, it is also independent on the size of the bodies also. G is independent on size of the bodies also. Next. So G is a small value or a high value? 10 power 11, order of 10 power 11. It is very small. It is very small compared to the masses of the object. So write down this. So write down simply. To identify G, we need to use Cavendish experiment. Next, value of G is 6.67 into 10 power minus 11 Newton meter square by kg square. So up to that one, right? And this is a dimensional formula of this one is m power minus 1, L power 3, T power minus 2. And G is not depends upon nature and size of the bodies and not depends on nature of the medium also. So write down these points on. Write down these only. Last one no need to write. So G value not depends on size of the bodies and the nature of the bodies. Next, G value independent on nature of the medium also. Next one. Properties of gravitational force. What are the properties of gravitational force? Gravitational force F. These are the properties of G. Universal gravitational constant G. Is it completed? So up to this point. This depends upon, not depends upon nature of the medium. Right on the up to that one. So it is also not depends on nature and size of the bodies. Nature and size of the bodies. Next one. Next, properties of gravitational force. So gravitational force is always attractive or repulsive? Always attractive. Next. So this is always attractive. I know. So what about electric and magnetic fields? That may be repulsive also. Electric and magnetic fields may be repulsive also. But gravitational force is always attractive nature only. Always attractive. Next, gravitational force depends upon. So on which factors that is depends? Is the depends on medium? No. So why? Because the G is independent on medium. Na? What is the formula for force? F equal to G m1 m2 by r square. So is there any medium dependence there? No. There is no medium dependency. So that we can conclude that it is independent of the medium. It is independent of the medium. Next. So is it short range force or long range force? It is a long range force. That means we can apply this force equation. So to calculate the force between stars also. That much longer we can apply. So stars ki madhyalo force calculate cheyadaniki ide formula vartham. So that we can conclude that this is a long range force. So it holds good to our wide range of distances. Wide range of distances means this is a long range force. Next, it is a central force. It is a central force. What is meant by central force? Central force means that need to act along the line joining the objects. Central force means so here are the two objects. The line joining the centers is like this. If the force is act along this line, then we can conclude that that is a central force. So gravitational force also a central force. Is this clear? Write down these points. Write down these underline points only. So it is always attractive in nature. Next, it is a independent of the medium between the particles or objects. It holds good for over or wide range of distances. And it is a central force. It is a central force. Completed. Next point. Next, if two objects are there, then we can write direct equation m1 m2 by r square. If three objects are there, then force is a vector or scalar? Vector. So that we need to use a vector addition only. So we need to use vector addition to calculate force acting between three or more objects. So if it is more than two, then we need to use vector notation only. So net force will be sum of the individual forces. Just calculate force between 1 and 2. So calculate force between 2 and 3. So then you can calculate force acting on 2. So that is a simply vector addition. We need to follow basic vector rules only. Next one. So this is the weakest force in nature. So what about the status? Status of the force are weakest or strongest? This is the weakest force in nature. So what is the order? Nuclear force is the strongest one. Nuclear force is strongest one. After that, electromagnetic force is somewhat strongest compared to the gravitational force. Last one, gravitational force. So you have to remember this order also. Sometimes they will give like this also. So select the order. What is the first and strongest force? Nuclear force. After that, so electromagnetic. After that, gravitational. This is the least and weakest in the nature. In nature, the weakest force is gravitational force. That strongest force is then what happens? So one is attract చేసుకుంటాం. మీరు నా వైపు మూవ్ అయిపోతారు, నేను మీ వైపు మూవ్ అయిపోతా. స్ట్రాంగ్ గా ఉంటే అవునా కదా? సో మాస్ ఉంది, సపరేషన్ ఉందంటే ఫోర్స్ ఉన్నట్టే కదా. సో అక్కడ మనం మీరు కూర్చొని ఉండరు, నా దగ్గరికి వచ్చేస్తా ఉంటారు. అన్న స్ట్రాంగ్ అయితే కనుక అది స్ట్రాంగ్ కాదు కాబట్టి మీరు ఎక్కడ ఉన్నారు అక్కడే ఉన్నారు, నేను ఎక్కడ ఉన్నాను అక్కడే ఉన్నాను. సో వాట్ ఇస్ ద ఆర్డర్? బేసిక్ ఆర్డర్. ఫస్ట్ వన్ స్ట్రాంగెస్ట్ ఈజ్ nuclear, after that electromagnetic, after that gravitational force. Next one, this is a conservative force. This is conservative. That means conservative means it won't depends on the path followed. It depends on the initial and final points only. It is conservative in nature. Conservative force means work done is independent on path. Work done due to this force is independent on path followed. It depends only on initial and final. So just remember this one, conservative. So conservative meaning you can learn in Newton's law. Right on. Next point, if more than two particles are there, net force is for more than two objects, more than two objects, net force is F equal to F1 bar plus F2 bar and so on. Write down this equation. Next point, for more than two objects, net force is write down this equation. Next, this is the weakest force in nature. Write down this point as it is. This is the weakest force in nature. So F nuclear is greater than F electromagnetic is greater than F gravitational. Read it. Next topic, acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity. So, variation of acceleration due to gravity with the shape of the earth. So here just check this shape of the earth. So which side is more, horizontal side or vertical side? So this is like elliptical shape. Now that means here radius is more compared to this radius. Is it correct or not? No. So at which place the gravitational acceleration due to gravity is more? So this is called equator line. So this is nothing but pole. This is a pole. This is also pole. So at equator gravitational force is more, or at poles gravitational force is more. So at poles gravitational acceleration due to gravity is more. Acceleration due to gravity at poles is more compared to the equator. So this is due to the shape of the earth. So here radius is different. This is like a elliptical one, so that radius is different. So at poles, the gravitational acceleration due to gravity is more compared to the acceleration due to gravity at a equator. So radius is more, so that acceleration due to gravity at pole is greater than acceleration due to gravity at a equator, because radius at equator is more compared to the radius at poles. So inversely proportional. So we will go through the next one. So formula. So write down this one. Variation of G with shape. Variation of G due to shape. Draw the diagram and write down this one. G at poles is greater than G at equator. G at poles is greater than G at equator. Next one. So variation of G with height. Write down. Next reading. Variation of G with height. In brackets altitude. Both are same. Variation of G with height anna. Variation of G with altitude anna okate. Altitude. Variation of G with height. In brackets altitude. Altitude. Both are same. Now, what is the basic formula for acceleration due to gravity? What is the basic formula for acceleration due to gravity? So, acceleration due to gravity, or what is the gravitational force? Assume that so this is a earth of mass m and radius capital R. So, what I am taking? So, what is our assumption? M is the mass of the earth, R is the radius of the earth. So one object is placed on the surface of the earth, mass of the object is, let it be m. Now what is the force between these two? If two objects are separated by some distance, then there will be a gravitational force. Na? What is the force between the earth and this mass? So F equal to G into capital M into small m by R. So acceleration due to gravity, that is nothing but from Newton's second law, F can be written as ma. Can I write like that? This is equal to G m by R. Now cancel small m on both sides. Then you will get acceleration as gm by R. So that is the gm by R square, na? Yes, square. So gmm by R square. So here also gm by R square. That is the formula for acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity formula is gm by R square. This is the formula for acceleration due to gravity. So write down the acceleration due to gravity. So height and rasera. So height tarvata just acceleration due to gravity and height and rasera. Variation of pieces. It's acceleration due to gravity and so what is the acceleration due to gravity formula? G equal to gm by R square. This is the acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the earth. This is the formula for acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the earth. And this formula. What is the formula? G equal to gm by R square. What is G here? Gravitational constant, universal gravitational constant. What is m? Mass of the earth. What is R? Radius of the earth. Now can you write this equation in terms of density? Now what is the proportionality between G and R? Inversely proportional to R square, na? G is inversely proportional to R square. Now can you write this one, this equation in terms of density? So density equal to mass by volume, na? Mass by volume. So mass can be written as density into volume. So that G equal to G by R square into rho into volume. 4/3 pi R cube. Now cancel similar terms, then you will get 4/3 pi into rho into G into R. This is the acceleration due to gravity in terms of density. This is in terms of density, this is in terms of mass. Right down. In terms of density. So if density is constant, what is the relation between G and the radius? Directly proportional. You have to specify G is directly proportional to radius. So in the question, if you mention about density or materials are same, then you have to write G is directly proportional to R. So density ane term ochina ledante same material anna G proportional to ela untadi, directly proportional to R. If mass is constant, then G is inversely proportional to R square. Mass ane concept unte దీన్ని తీసుకోండి, density అనే కాన్సెప్ట్ వస్తే ఈ ఈక్వేషన్ నుంచి చెప్పాలి. ప్రపోర్షనాలిటీ చూసుకోండి, మాస్ కాన్సెప్ట్ ఉండేది, అదే రేడియస్ కాన్సెప్ట్ డెన్సిటీ కాన్సెప్ట్ ఉండేది. Now what is the SI unit of acceleration due to gravity? SI unit is SI unit. That is also same as acceleration only, na? Now what is the SI unit for acceleration? Meter per second square. Meter per second square. Same as acceleration only. What about dimensional formula? Dimensional formula. L t power minus 2. M power 0, L t power minus 2. M power 0, L t power minus 2 is the dimensional formula. Next, is it scalar or vector? So acceleration is a vector, no? This is also vector quantity only. Right on. It is a vector quantity. So you are saying that is a vector. Now what about direction of that vector? Downwards, always downwards. You have to specify that always towards the earth. Towards the earth. So it is a vector and direction is towards the earth. Directed towards the earth. So these are the basic properties of acceleration due to gravity. So acceleration due to gravity formula is Gm by R square, G into capital M by R square. In terms of density, 4/3 pi into rho into G into R. Now what is the value of acceleration due to gravity? Nearly 9.8. SI unit is meter per second square. This is on the surface of the earth. On the surface of the earth, what is the formula? What is the value of the acceleration due to gravity? 9.8 meter per second square. Generally we are taking it as 10. Now SI unit is meter per second square. Dimensional formula L t power minus 2, and it is a vector quantity and direction is always towards the earth only. These are the basic concepts about acceleration due to gravity. Next one. So just important points are this one and this one. These two formulas are important. Next. So from that previous equation, if R is more, then what about acceleration due to gravity? Less, because inversely proportional. So that if R is more, then you will get less acceleration due to gravity. So that at equator you will get less acceleration due to gravity compared to the poles. Next one. Next heading, variation of acceleration due to gravity G with height. Variation of G with height. Now what is the value of acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the earth? On the surface of the earth, G equal to Gm by R square. What is the formula for that? G equal to Gm by R square. Now assume that object is placed at a height above the surface of the earth. So as shown in the diagram. So here object is placed at a height h above the surface of the earth. Now what is the distance between the center and this object? R plus h is the distance. Na? R we can write it as small r also. Small r is nothing but capital R plus h only. Now at a height h, at a height h, acceleration due to gravity so let it be GH equal to Gm by R plus h whole square. Can I write like this? So gm by distance whole square. Now, if it is at a height h, what is the distance between center and that point? R plus h. So that we need to write r plus h whole square. This is the acceleration due to gravity at a height h. Now, let it be equation number 1. Let it be equation number 2. Now, can you write gh in terms of g? Can you write this value in terms of this one? So, from this one, gm is nothing but g into r square, na? Can I write like this? G equal to gm is nothing but g r square from this equation. Just I am substituting that one, then you will get this one. So this is the equation in terms of g and r. If h, r and g is given, then use this equation directly. So it is better to use this equation compared to this one. So this is somewhat lengthy. You have to substitute g value, you have to substitute mass of the earth. Here, small g 10. If r is given, just directly use this equation. Right. On the surface, the formula is gm by r square. At a height h, formula is gr square by r plus h whole square. Completed. So can you rearrange this equation? Equation rearrange. We can write this one as g by r plus h by r whole square. Can I write like this? Take this r square to denominator. Then we can write this one as r plus h whole square by r square. So r plus h by r whole square. And this can be written as g by 1 plus h by r whole square. Can I write like this? The same equation can be written like that. So if h and r given, then we can use this one directly. So if height is n times the radius of the earth, then what is the acceleration due to gravity? If they ask like that, then it is better to use this equation. Height is n times the radius of the earth. So substitute h equal to n into r. R get cancelled out, then you will get 1 plus n whole square. That is g by 1 plus n whole square is the answer. So if h and r given directly, then or h is given in terms of radius, use this equation. If h is given in terms of radius, use that equation. Write on that one also. Just after this one, directly write this one. After this one, directly write this one. Now, can I write this one as g into 1 plus h by r whole power minus 2? Can I write like this? Now, if h is less than r, if h is less than r, that means if height is negligible compared to the radius of the earth, if height is negligible compared to the radius of the earth, then we can take approximation as so here we need to use binomial expansion. 1 plus x whole power n is there, then we need to write 1 plus nx. Just multiply this power with this one. Here x is less than 1. So here also same logic. If h by r is less than 1 or h is less than r, then we can apply that binomial expansion concept. So gh equal to g into 1 minus 2h by r. This is the formula for acceleration due to gravity at a height h. If h is less than r, we need to apply this equation only when h is less than r. Height అనేది మీటర్ లో ఇచ్చాడు అనుకోండి, అప్పుడు ఇది అప్లై చేసేయచ్చు. అది కిలోమీటర్స్ అంటే 1 కిలోమీటర్ 2 కిలోమీటర్ దగ్గర ఇస్తే ఇది అప్లై చేసుకోవచ్చు. లేదు రేడియస్ ఆఫ్ ది ఎర్త్ ఎంత? వాట్ ఇస్ ద వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ రేడియస్ ఆఫ్ ది ఎర్త్? 6400 కిలోమీటర్స్. 6400 కిలోమీటర్స్ అంటే 6400 కిలోమీటర్స్ అంటే 6400 into 10 power 3 మీటర్స్. ఇది 6400 కిలోమీటర్ దగ్గర కానీ అంటే రేడియస్ r/2 కానీ h ఈక్వల్ టు r/2 అన్నాడు అనుకోండి, ఫస్ట్ ఫార్ములాని యూజ్ చేయాలి, ఇది యూజ్ చేయకూడదు. If h equal to r by 2 gaani, r by 3 gaani, r by 4 gaani ichadu. So height is comparable to the radius. Don't use this one. If height is negligible compared to the radius, then use this equation. It is clear. So when we need to use this equation, if h is less than r only, we have to use this equation. Right. So next formula, this one. GH equal to G into 1 minus 2h by r. Now, if height increases, then what about acceleration due to gravity? Decreases or increases? From these equations, can you conclude anything? If height increases, then acceleration due to gravity decreases or increases? Decreases or increases? If height increases, then acceleration due to gravity decreases or increases? Answer is decreases. Answer decreases. So acceleration due to gravity decreases with altitude or height. Altitude or height. Height తో పాటు ఏమవుతుంది? యాక్సలరేషన్ డ్యూ టు గ్రావిటీ ఏమవుతుంది? డిక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది. డిక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది. మరి ప్రపోర్షనాలిటీ ఎలా చెప్పొచ్చు? సో ఇన్వర్స్లీ ప్రపోర్షనల్. స్క్వేరా ఆర్ స్క్వేరా ఆర్? ఆర్ స్క్వేరా ఆర్? ఆర్ స్క్వేర్ చెప్పాలా ఆర్ చెప్పాలా? ఆర్ స్క్వేర్. ఇన్వర్స్లీ ప్రపోర్షనల్ టు ఆర్ స్క్వేర్. Inversely proportional to r square అని చెప్తాం. Next one, fractional change, percentage change రాద్దాం. Now what is the difference between acceleration due to gravity at a height h and on the surface of the earth? So height h దగ్గర surface మీద ఎంత డిఫరెన్స్ ఉంటది? What is the change in acceleration due to gravity? Change. So next we need to calculate change in acceleration due to gravity. Now, what is the value of change in acceleration due to gravity? Change in g. That is nothing but delta g equal to g minus gh. Change in acceleration due to gravity between height and surface. Now, g minus gh ka. So use this condition. దీని నుంచి ఎంత అవుతుంది? So g minus gh cover. Now this can be written as gh equal to g minus 2h by r into gn. Can I write like this from this equation? Equation alla raicha. Just g to multiply is explain chesa. So take this one to this side, this one to that side. Then g minus gh equal to 2h into g by r. This is the change in acceleration due to gravity. Change in acceleration due to gravity formula is 2h by r into g. Next, fractional change. Fractional change. Fractional change means change by original. Fractional change is always change by original. That is nothing but delta g by g. What is the value of delta g by g from this one? 2h by r. This is the fractional change. Now percentage change in g. So delta g by g into 100. That equal to 2h by r into 100. This is the percentage change in acceleration due to gravity g. So this is change, this is fractional change, this one is percentage change. Change is how much? 2h by r into g. Next, fractional change 2h by r. Percentage change 2h by r into 100. These are the formulas for acceleration due to gravity at a height h. Copy this one. So what are the formulas for acceleration due to gravity at a height h? Acceleration due to gravity at a height h formula gm by r plus h whole square r. Gh equal to g into r square by r plus h whole square r. Gh equal to g by 1 plus h by r whole square. So if h is less than r, then we can use this equation g into 1 minus 2h by r. These are the formulas for acceleration due to gravity at a height h. So is these formulas are clear or not? Is this clear? Can I go through the next one? Now proportionality. Acceleration due to gravity at a height h is inversely proportional to r square. Inversely proportional to r square. Don't say by using this one. So it is better to use this one to check proportionality. Use this one to identify the proportionality. Next one. So variation of acceleration due to gravity with depth g, depth d. Right. Variation of acceleration due to gravity with depth. Assume that this is the earth of radius r and mass m. Assume that this is the earth of radius r and mass m. Now just I want to calculate acceleration due to gravity at this location that is at a depth d from the surface. So depth means we are measuring depth from surface only, not from center. So check this one. Just identify this logic. Here we are measuring depth from surface, not from center. Is this clear or not? Now what is the distance between center and this point?
R minus D.
So distance between these 2 points is nothing but r minus d. Now assume that object of mass small m is placed at this location. Now what is the gravitational force between those two? Gravitational force between earth and that object of mass small m. Now can you write that one in terms of density? So use the equation that is in terms of density. So gravitational force is nothing but F equal to, so mass of the object into acceleration due to gravity at a depth d. R. So write down that acceleration due to gravity in terms of density. Use that equation directly. What is the formula for acceleration due to gravity in terms of density? 4 by 3 phi into g into rho into r. Is it correct or not? Acceleration due to gravity in terms of density. Now here density is same, so that we need to use this equation only. Here what is the distance between these two? R minus d. So acceleration due to gravity at a depth d is 4/3 pi into g into rho into r minus d. R minus d on. Now take ratio between these two. This is on the surface. This one. This is at a depth d. Acceleration due to gravity at a depth d. Now ratio between these two. So acceleration due to gravity at a depth d by acceleration due to gravity on the surface. This one by this one. R minus d by r. Now cross multiply. So acceleration due to gravity at the depth d equal to g into r by r is 1 minus d by r. This is the formula for acceleration due to gravity at the depth d. D is nothing but the depth from the surface. R is radius of the earth. G is acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the earth. Right. This is the main formula. So this one is the main formula. What is the acceleration due to gravity at the depth d formula? G into 1 minus d by r. 1 minus d by r. Right. So on the surface, formula of G, formula for G is 4/3 pi into G into rho into r. At a depth d, that is r minus d. 4/3 pi into G into rho into r minus d. So here, what is the main formula? This one, last one is the main formula. Acceleration due to gravity at a depth d formula is g into 1 minus d by r. Now, so what is the change in acceleration due to gravity? Change is nothing but Difference between G and GD. Now expand this one. G minus dg by r. Na? This is GD. Now G minus GD equal to dg by r. So this is nothing but a change. This is nothing but a change in acceleration due to gravity. So here change in acceleration due to gravity. Change in acceleration due to gravity. G minus GD equal to dg by r, or delta G equal to d into g by r. This is the formula. Change is nothing but a dg by r only. Now fractional change. What about fractional change? Fractional change in G, that is nothing but a delta G by G equal to d by r. This is the formula for a fractional change. Fractional change is nothing but d by r only. Next, percentage change. Percentage change in G is that is delta G by G into 100, that equal to d by r into 100. This is the formula. So first change, after that fractional change, after that percentage change we need to identify. Next one, next heading, variation of G with rotation of the earth. Variation of G due to rotation of the earth. So here I am giving directly formula only. So GR can be written as G minus R omega square cos square phi. What is the formula for that? G minus R omega square cos square phi. What is phi here? Here phi is an angle that is equal to 0 at equator and 90 at poles. That is at equator. Phi is equal to 0 and at poles phi is equal to 90 degrees. Poles phi value is how much? 90 degrees. So at equator phi value is how much? 0 degrees. Now, at equator what is the value of G? So at equator G at equator equal to G minus R omega square only, because if you substitute 0 here, cos square 0 is 1. So this is the value at equator. At poles G only. At poles, what is the value? G only. So where you will get more acceleration due to gravity? At poles or at equator? Poles. So poles acceleration due to gravity is more compared to the acceleration due to gravity at equator. So what is the difference between those two? R omega. So G poles minus G equator is how much? R omega square. G poles minus G equator equal to R omega square. So if you increase rotational speed of the earth, then what happens to the acceleration due to gravity? if you increase rotational speed compared to the present value, then what happens to the acceleration due to gravity? Decreases or increases? Decreases. ఎలా చెప్తున్నాం? ఏ ఈక్వేషన్ బేస్ చేసుకుని చెప్పాలి? ఈక్వేటర్ దగ్గర తీసుకోండి. ఈక్వేటర్ దగ్గర. So actually increase, if you increases rotational speed means omega is going to increase. Omega is going to increase means this negative value is going to increases na? This negative value is going to increases. Then the total value is going to decrease. So if it is increases, total value will decrease. So if you increase the rotational speed, then what happens? Acceleration due to gravity at equator decreases or increases? Decreases only, decreases. So if you increase rotational speed, acceleration due to gravity decreases at equator. Write down that statement also. Acceleration due to gravity at equator decreases with increase in rotational speed, bracket lo omega. Acceleration due to gravity at equator decreases with increase in rotational speed or frequency. Rotational speed or frequency, bracket lo omega. Rotational speed increase చేశాడన్నా frequency increase చేశాడన్నా ఒకటే. ఎందుకని? What is the reason? Omega is equal to 2 pi f na. So if increase frequency, then omega also increases. Now see, if the earth is rotating slower than compared to the present value, then g increases or decreases. So present value కన్నా స్లోగా రొటేట్ అవుతుంది, అప్పుడు ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది. సేమ్ ఇదే కాన్సెప్ట్. ఇది వాల్యూ తగ్గిందంటే ఇది ఏమవుతుంది? పెరుగుతుంది వాల్యూ. నెక్స్ట్, so if a time period of the earth decreases, then what happens to the acceleration due to gravity? If time period of the earth decreases, then what happens to the acceleration due to gravity at poles? Time period decrease అవుతుంది. Time period decrease అవుతే అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది? Time period decrease అయితే acceleration due to gravity poles దగ్గర ఏమవుతుంది? So time period లో ఫార్ములా ఏంటి? omega equal to 2 pi by t. 2 pi by t అంటే ఇక్కడ omega బదులు ఏం రాయాలి? 2 pi by t రాసుకోవాలి. Now if time period decreases, then what happens to the acceleration due to gravity? Increases. So ఇక్కడ denominator వస్తుందిగా, time period లో రాయాలంటే g equal to g minus r 4 pi square by t square. So if t decreases, this value increases. Is it correct or not? If t decreases, this value increases. This value increases means total value decreases. Next, if t decreases, then what happens? If t decreases, then total value increases. So g value decreases. Next, if t increases, g value also increases. So here coming to omega, if omega increases, g value decreases. This is exactly opposite to this, because omega equal to inversely proportional to time period na. So you need to say exactly opposite to the omega. Write down the statement also. Acceleration due to gravity decreases with decrease in time period. Next note, acceleration due to gravity at equator decreases with decrease in time period. Next, so weightlessness. Next side, weightlessness weightlessness. So weightlessness means acceleration due to gravity is how much? So if you feel weightlessness means acceleration due to gravity is 0 at that location. So మనకి weight లేదు అనిపించిందంటే మీనింగ్ ఏంటి? మాస్ ఏమైనా తగ్గుద్దా? వెయిట్ అంటే నథింగ్ బట్ weight is nothing but m into g. So you are feeling that weightlessness means m into g is equal to 0. So m is always non-zero. No? Mass will be 0. Mass will decrease or increase? No. So mass won't be 0. So that g only possibility is G should be 0. So weightlessness means acceleration due to gravity at that location is 0 only. So if acceleration due to gravity at that location is 0, then what happens to the rotation? What is the value of acceleration due to gravity that is related to the rotation? G minus G equal to G minus R omega square cos square phi. So if there is a weightlessness, then at equator, then what is the value of GR? 0 equal to G minus R omega square at equator. Can I write like this? Now here in this one, R omega square equal to G. Then omega square equal to G by R. Then omega equal to root G by R. And omega equal to 2 pi by T equal to root G by R. Now from this one, T can be written as 2 pi into root R by G. So if you want to get a weightlessness, just substitute R value and G value, then you will get time period of the earth. What is the present time period of the earth? What is the present time period of the earth? 24 hours. Na? What is the time period of the earth? 24 hours. So present time period is 24 hours. So time period is nothing but time taken for one complete revolution. That is 24 hours present. Now if you substitute R value or G value, if you solve this one, then you will get time period as 1.4 hour. 1.4 hour. That means time period decreases or increases? Time period decreases. If new time period is 1.4 hours, then we may feel that weightlessness. So our weights are 0 on the surface of the earth. And earth rotation ganaka 1.4 hour lo complete ayipote oka rotation. And day and night kalpi 1.4 hour lo complete ayipindi anukondi. Then we may feel that weightlessness. Manaku weight unnattu anpichadu. Mana weighing scale మీద నుంచుంటే మన weight ఎంత చూపిస్తుంది? 0 weight చూపిస్తుంది. ఇప్పుడు if earth is rotating with 1.4 hour time period. It is clear. Now this is 1 by 11 times, 1 by 17 times the present value. Na? Is it correct or not? This is nothing but 1 by 17 times the present value. So if a time period is 1 by 17 times the present value, then you will get a weightlessness condition. Is this clear or not? Now write down the formula for omega as well as the time period, and write down this one also. These three are important. So omega, time period, and time taken or time period for weightlessness. So what is this T? This T is the time period for weightlessness. Time period for weightlessness for Earth surface is how much? 1.4 hour. Derivation right hand side separate గా రాసి. ఫార్ములాస్ గుర్తుంచుకోవాల్సిన ఏంటి? ఇవి అదే మూడు. ఫస్ట్ స్టెప్, సెకండ్, థర్డ్ స్టెప్. సో ఈ రిమైనింగ్ డెరివేషన్ అంతా రైట్ సైడ్ రాస్తుంది.